Oh, what's going on, fam? This is Nick from Smartlead. So, a lot of people ask me about automations. Like I always preface when I talk about automations. If you do not have your first client, don't do any automations. If you don't have a steady stream of business, don't do automations. If you just signed your first client, don't do automations. Focus purely on fulfillment, sales, lead gen, marketing, whatever it is, before you focus on automations. You should not be doing automations until you have hired someone to do the work for you. Once you have hired them and they know the procedure and the process, then you can look at ways to optimize that. And then you could systemize it and automate it entirely and not need human input. The reason I always recommend having someone do the work for you before you automate stuff is because it's going to be more cost effective to pay someone to do it. And two, by you teaching them and you defining the system and how they need to work within a standard operating procedure, it gives you a much clearer view of what the automation actually does and like what is worth it to automate, what's not worth it to automate. At the end of the day, it's just the Eisenhower matrix, right? So what do I need to do now? What do I need to schedule to do? Who should I delegate things to? And then finally, what should I eliminate? If you don't know which parts of your process are the most valuable, or you don't know what CRM you're going to use, or you don't know like this, that, or the other, don't build automations because your business is going to change a lot in the next 3, 6, 12 months if you just started. So don't focus on automations. Just get reliable people to help you first. And then if you are so busy that this person has no more time and no more capacity and they are still repeatedly doing the same tasks, that's when I would recommend you automate them. Zapier is an alternative to Make. I prefer Make. It's cheaper. I like Make better. There's a lot more customization and stuff you could do with Make. I am not the biggest automation expert. So if you have tips or if you want to talk to me about how this type of scenario could be better, let me know. But the general idea here was my client is sending from Smartlead. So you connect X amount of domains, secondary domains, and email accounts to Smartlead. He doesn't want to connect all of those accounts to Monday. He currently does not have a master inbox set up. So what that means is that all of these accounts that he's using don't forward to one master account. If they did forward to one master account, then this would be easier and there would be multiple ways to do this. But I am going directly from Smartlead to Monday without using a master inbox. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So first, you need to create a webhook from Smartlead. So you get the webhook. I'm not going to show you the Smartlead account just for like client confidentiality or whatever, but the general idea is that if a lead is marked as interested, a lead is marked as meeting request, or a lead is marked as meeting booked, then it's going to fire to this webhook. If you need more help with Smartlead webhooks, I can make a different video on that, but you should be able to do it. It's pretty straightforward, and V has really great resources around it on Smartlead's documentation. So you should be able to figure that out. If you have any questions, just book a consult with me. But so anyways, you have the webhook. So anytime a lead in Smartlead is marked interested, meeting request, or meeting booked, I'm going to have it pushed to this webhook. And then a bunch of different stuff is going to be in the webhook. But so what my client has is this board called Deals. So that's essentially where he's doing like his lead stuff, right? So whatever the board is named or whatever. If you have a different CRM, I'm assuming there's like different tables or different sections, right? There's usually like leads, contacts, whatever. So this one is just all listed under Deals. And you could customize that however you want. Not really important to what we're doing here. But cool. So the board is in Deals. So first we're going to grab the board. We need to grab the right board. We're not going to be able to search anything if we don't know where we're searching, right? So first thing, grab the board. Second thing, search items on the board for column values. So what that means is I'm going to search for matches by email address. Reason being, everybody who responds to us positively and is a lead, we're going to have their email, obviously, and we're going to need to push that into the CRM so the appointment setter knows, hey, this is a new deal. We got an interested response from our email outreach. So call this person, follow up with them via email, try to get it scheduled in, right? So that's the reason we did this, is to automate that process, make the appointment setter's life easier. And so we don't have to sit in the Smartlead inbox all day. So search items on the board by column value. So we're going to search board ID deals for email, and then we're going to grab the lead data email. So directly from the webhook, what is the respondee's email? And then we're going to put that there. And then we're going to do a text parser. So for you non-tech people, essentially all that this means is we're going to take HTML and bring it to text. So the reason that we have to do this is because when you push information out of Smartlead via webhooks or API calls or whatever, it has HTML formatting. So what that means is the code for the font size, the code for when you hit return, all of that isn't just blank, right? Like what you see with your eyes is the like not computer version of it. Obviously, it's the like human UI version. So the computer version has a lot more data. So you're going to want to parse the HTML code to text. Essentially, all that this means is that anything that's within carets, like div, font size, quotation, like whatever API code stuff is in there, we want to eliminate. So it's really easy to do with just a text parser, HTML to text. And then we're going to have a router set up. So the reason that we have to have this set up is because we don't want duplicate leads for obvious reasons, right? So we need to search the table for the prospect's email. If that email already exists somewhere on this table, then update that lead. If it doesn't exist on this table, then create a new lead. So I just have a filter here for match. And then if total number of bundles is 1, it's going to do this, right? And then if total number of bundles is 0, it's going to do this, right? So the general idea here is, hey, grab the right Monday board that we want to like reference, search by column email address. If email address of respondee from Smartlead matches email address already in Monday, then we want to update that lead. We do not want to make a new lead. So if you're going to update the lead, that means what you're going to get is when you search this item. So essentially computer language here. If you search by email address in a specific column, the total number of results limited that I set is 1. So the general idea behind this is, hey, if we find a match, return 1. If we don't find a match, return 0. And then the filter is set up exactly that way too. If we find a match, equals 1. If we don't find a match, equals 0. And then if we do find a match, that means we have to update the lead. If we don't find a match, that means we have to create the lead. So what does that look like? All right, cool. We're in the deals board. Here's the ID. So we're taking the ID of the lead if it's a match from Monday, right? So we don't want to do it from the email. We want to do it from the lead ID so we could update more fields, right? So I'm going to do last reply text from the text parser. So this is one of the outputs from Smartlead's API call. They have a last reply. I'll show you exactly. That was weird. I just had to refresh. So I'm just going to look through the log of one of the things that we had, right? So we got the webhook. So this is the email address of the person and like the campaign info, the email, this, that, or the other. So we're going to be looking at the amount of stuff that we get out of this. So for example, we're going to be searching, okay, cool. The email, right? So we're searching the email. And then if we get an output of 0, that means it's a new lead. If we get an output of 1, that means it's a lead we need to update. And then we're going to parse the text. So this is what it looks like. This is what the HTML code looks like. Obviously, this isn't an email response. Like that's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo that humans can't read. So we're going to need to parse that. And then this is what the output looks like, right? So this is a weird email because their signature is like messed up. But yeah, that's the general idea. And then once we're going to create the lead, it pushes it to Monday with everything that we need.